up there. I don't need titties underneath my neck. That's a little bit much for me.
Hey guys, my name is Furley. Welcome to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Camera.
Hey guys, my name is Gertie. Welcome to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Camera.
So hello everybody, welcome to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Camera. And today I will be talking about my boobs. I had a breast augmentation, so I want to talk about where I went, which doctor I went to, the cost of the surgery, where it was, and everything else that everybody wants to know when getting. Okay, so first and foremost, the place that I did go to is Spectrumaesthetics. They are located in Miami, Florida, and I did a lot of research before going to them. I had a friend who actually got her boob job with them, so at least I knew someone who actually went through the process before I went. But they do have an Instagram. I will be providing it in the description box. The cost was $3,300, which is actually really good compared to everywhere else that I was actually looking at. I went from a B to a D cup. I'll actually be providing pictures of my before and afters to see what the difference is. The doctor actually did 2 different sizes for me, just because you know, when one of your boobs is usually smaller than the other, so he went ahead and he chose 370, no, not 375. It was a 485 and a 520. Thinking back on it, I was like, okay, 520, that's a bit much, maybe 500, but it turned out great. So he definitely knows what he's doing, and I'm very happy with my results, and I'm very confident now. Not that I wasn't before, but it's just a whole different self-esteem boost, and it's great. I did try vlogging the day of surgery, but it was a little difficult just because it was so early in the morning, and once you actually go to start, you know, the whole process just to go back there with the doctor, you don't come out. So I didn't really have anybody to, you know, vlog it for me, so, and I didn't have anybody to go back there with me. So, and the doctor that I went to is Dr. Mel Ortega. He has been doing this, I believe, for 25 to 30 years. So he has a lot of experience. And the practice, well, the place was really nice. It was nice. Everybody was really, all the staff was nice. So I really enjoyed that. I got my surgery on September the 4th. And my pre-op appointment was September the 3rd, but since that was a holiday, it was a bit different for me because I got my pre-op appointment and my surgery on the same day. That was actually really good. I got really lucky because I was stupid. I flew with Spirit. Never again. I flew with Spirit, and I ended up being like, I was supposed to arrive in Miami at like 1 o'clock. I didn't get there until like 5 because of all the delays and all the complications I had with the airline, but that's another video for another time. So when I got there, you know, I ended up staying with my friend. He was so awesome. I ended up staying with his parents, actually. Like, they were so great. I didn't have to pay for a hotel. My sister actually flew out there from Atlanta, and she was with me. I'm very grateful for her. And so the day before surgery, so at like 8 o'clock, you're not supposed to eat anything. You're not supposed to eat or drink anything. And then the next day, bright and early, I had my pre-op appointment with Dr. Ortega. Now, it was a little, like, for me, I wish I would have written down the questions that I had for him, because as soon as I got in there, it's like my mind drew a blank, and I just forgot everything. I forgot all my questions. I forgot everything I wanted to tell him or ask about. And he did most of the talking just because I didn't know what to say. All I knew that I wanted was, okay, I'm a B now. I want a small D, like the smallest D possible, just because I know, well, I'm 23 years old, so, and I don't have any children. I know once I have like a baby, they're going to get bigger. That's bound to happen. So I was like, either a really big C or a small D. And I heard that once you get your boobs done, normally everybody's is always saying like, oh, I wish I would have went bigger. I didn't want to experience that. So I just went ahead and said, okay, a small D, and I told him that. So we talked about the two different implants that you can do. You can do the saline or the silicone. The saline is just, it has salt water. So it has salt water. It doesn't feel as natural, but it is much safer, just because if it does rupture, it's just salt water. It just dissolves in your body, does. And also you're able to tell a lot quicker if your implant ruptures versus silicone, where it's really rare that your silicone will burst, just because of how strong it is. Like, the doctor was pulling on it and he showed me that it's very, very safe. And also I did my research as well, so I went ahead and I did the silicone implants versus the saline, but that was just a personal choice for me. Also with the saline, I don't know, it's cheaper. Like, if you want to spend less money, the saline is a cheaper option for you, but the silicone does last a lot longer. Typically people get it redone after 10 years, but that's not always the case. Alright, so after I had my pre-op appointment with the doctor, we talked about, which type of implant I should do based on what I had to start off with, because I had boobs, but they were just not as full. They weren't as full, so we went ahead and, he told me what he thought was best, and I let him do his thing. I really did, and I thought about it, and I was like, okay. Now, looking back on it, even though I was really, really happy that I did my pre-op and my surgery on the same day because of everything else that happened to me that day, it was, I wish I would have, like, maybe for other people, I would say just have like a day to think about it, to think about what you want and all of that after your pre-op. Because if I would have had my pre-op the day before and my surgery the next day, I could have came back after going home. I could have came back and said, I forgot to ask these questions. What about this, and that? But I mean, it turned out fine. I'm happy with my results so far. So today is Saturday, and Tuesday coming up will be a month. I'll be a month post-op. And they're still in the dropping phase. So when they started off, they were very hard and unnatural, and they were up there. And now they're dropping, and this is the dropping phase. After the dropping phase, it'll be the fluffing, which then they'll start to look a lot more natural, which I cannot wait for. So alright, so after I had my pre-op with Dr. Ortega, we went into surgery. I laid there. They put me in with the anesthesia. I've never had surgery before, so that was like a really different experience for me. It was a first. So with the anesthesia, I went under, like, he put it in, and I just started fading. And then the next time I woke up, I actually wish I wouldn't have woken up. The pain that I felt was the worst pain in my life. Like, it got to a point where I was like, why did these people wake me up? Like, y'all trying to kill me. So I woke up and so I'm laying in the bed, I look down and all I see is boobs, and I'm just like, the first words that come to mind are, what have I done? Just because it looked crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, this is weird. And you're just so swollen and you can barely move. So I went ahead, they went ahead and helped me get dressed, and then they just they gave me some pain meds. I was in so much pain. I started to cry, I'm not gonna lie. It was the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. I started to cry. But from the other videos that I've watched and from talking to other people that's had this surgery, not everybody experiences the same pain tolerance. Everybody's different. For me, I was just a big baby. It was my first surgery ever, so I don't know. That was just the worst for me. But others, I've seen some people bounce back after 5 days. After 5 days, I was still in bed. I was still laying on the couch. I needed help to get up. Someone had to physically lift me off the couch so I could get whatever I had to get or use the bathroom. It was terrible. I didn't start to feel better after 2 weeks. I started to feel better, and now I can actually run. I'm going to start working out next week, so good for that. You have to wait. I was told that I had to wait a month. I think that you have to wait at least a month before you can start working out. Even then, you don't want to do any push-ups, anything that has to do with you using your arm muscles, just because it might affect the way that the implant is dropping. So with the dropping phase, it's just dropping into your boob socket, something like that. So you don't want to affect that. You don't want to take the chances. So better safe than sorry. I would say don't bother with those type of workouts. But this is what it looks like a month, almost a month. Tuesday will be a month. Almost a month post-op. They're still pretty high up there. I did get the high profile. That's another thing. They have different profiles. They have moderate, they have a low, and they have high, and they even have extra high profile. But for extra high would not work for me because they're already all the way up there. I don't need titties underneath my neck. That's a little bit much for me. So they did the high profile, which I wanted, because I'm like, okay, if I have a child whenever, I want them to just drop just a little bit. I don't want it to be too low. Then I'll feel like I need another boob job. That's another $3,000. You have different incisions that you can choose from. You have the one that's under your armpit. You have the one where it's through the nipple, and then you have one where it's underneath your boob. A lot of people tend to go with that one just because after it heals up, it's just a tiny little scar, and it's underneath the fold of your breast, so no one's ever going to really see that. I did get that one, and it's still healing, and I ended up buying I bought this it's not a cream, it's not like a scar cream, but it's more of it's like a little band-aid thing. You put it on there and it helps the scar. I got it, and I am happy about my decision, and I feel a lot more confident in my clothes, and certain clothes that I wear, they just fit a lot better, and it's a good feeling to have that. So if you have any questions or anything else that I can touch up on, I can make another video to elaborate more when I'm a lot less nervous. But thank you for tuning in. Until next time.